Straight out to Mike Brooks, HLN law enforcement analyst. We'd heard these reports, but now it's reportable. Oh my gosh, is that Google search the smoking gun?
I think it's going to be another key piece of evidence in this because there's so much other evidence of his actions that day, Jane. But, you know, I mean, this was it his work computer, was his home computer? Because I'm sure that they seized both of them to see exactly what's going on along with his cell phone. But, Jane, when he went out there at lunchtime to check on whatever he was going to do, the little boy was strapped in the car. If he went out at 11 o'clock, it was 86. At noon, 88.16. 1 o'clock, 89.60 degrees inside that car. And then when he got in to go wherever he was going to go at the end of his workday, are you going to tell me that he could not smell that baby? We had a forensic pathologist on the case today, and he was saying that there's a possibility that the body could have started to decompose being in that heat, 130 to 140 degrees for 7 hours.
Well, let me bring in Martin Savage, CNN correspondent. You drove all around this area, retracing the dad's steps from his house to the Chick-fil-A where he had breakfast and then the parking lot. I mean, you were in the same climate just a couple of days later, essentially. How hot was it as you drove around? What did you learn from that trip?
I think the biggest thing that you realize in that trip, Jane, is that the story that the father tells about how he apparently became absent-minded and that he left his child behind in the car and didn't realize it until 7 hours later is hard to believe, because authorities are saying that he was with his child that morning just minutes before they were having breakfast, as you point out, at a restaurant. He was interacting with the child, strapping that little boy into the safety seat. The drive from that restaurant to where he works is, we clocked it at 0.6 of a mile, less than 5 minutes. How in that time, in that distance, do you forget you've got your own son in the back seat? That's what really stands out when you retrace those steps.